stop lying about South Africa. There's no xenophobia here. You're telling me there's no xenophobia and I should stop lying. You're acting like the media doesn't cover every single thing. I feel like the continent is never gonna grow if we all don't come together. There's a bunch of stuff going on in South Africa right now, where everything being categorized in a word called xenophobia. Okay, what is xenophobia?
Hundreds of anti-migrant protesters marched through a township outside Johannesburg on Monday in the latest sign of growing tensions over immigration in South Africa. Similar demonstrations have been reported across the country as vigilante groups push for undocumented foreigners to leave by the end of this month. The march came a day after President Cyril Ramaphosa condemned xenophobia and warned that no one should take the law into their own hands.
Xenophobia is Africans, mind you, Africans treading on other Africans in an African country. An African country is kicking away other Africans in the country. And not just like, like immigration or officers of the law or governmental people like enforcing these laws or whatever. It's commoners in the country going store to store, door to door, and everything just violently. Yo, what's good, Santiago? Violently just beating people up and taking them out. This goes for the likes of Ghanaians in the country, Nigerians in the country, Estwani people. And it's like, why are you using violence? Ain't this the same thing you guys were complaining about during the apartheid? You guys had a problem with that. So why are y'all like doing the same thing? And it's crazy because this is all being done in a point where you guys are gonna be the main focus now. How is the USA gonna see you guys? How is the big countries gonna see you guys? Like, come on. It's putting a bad reputation out there, not just for the country, for Africa as a continent. And that's why the Western world feels like we can't really handle stuff by ourselves. Just looking at it from a middleman or a person who just like uses brains or whatever. At the end of the day, I feel like we should all come together to just make the continent prosperous. But again, we're coming together to push other Africans out, to treat other Africans badly. In my opinion, I just feel like that's unacceptable. If a person is in your country illegally, you have to go through the right governmental and like law procedures to get them out. In my opinion, South Africa, the civilians shouldn't feel the need to take everything in there. But again, it's like the government is not saying anything about it. They're just letting it happen. So that's why people just feel like it's a government hoax. It just feels like everything is like planned or something. Like they want to get rid of all other Africans. I feel like the continent is never gonna grow if we all don't come together. And I think I posted this on my Instagram or whatever, just explaining my thoughts. I think I can write things better instead of saying it. The good people we had, Kwame Nkrumah wanted to create a singular language for the whole continent. Because, if you go to Nigeria, Ghana, or any African country right now, you probably have like different languages in it. And I feel like that just creates diversity because, then you have different tribes, then you have different traditions, and people have to follow different stuff based off of their tradition. So that is all what he tried to prevent, just creating one thing that we all, if you go to every African country, you can really understand people more. But again, allegedly, the higher ups didn't want that to happen because, people always want to take control of Africa. So that never got to happen, and unfortunately, he died. Don't know what killed him. Can't say what killed him. But yeah, he died. We had Patrice Lumumba. We had Brenda Fassie. We had a bunch of this great, African activists who wanted to see the continent excel better. So in my opinion, I feel like for Africa to grow, we all should all unite together, have one accord to see that we've been suffering for so long with all the minerals we have, with all the, land we have cultivated, agriculture that we have in every single country, and like with all these things, we just seen ourselves like far behind. We don't show that influence in the world. We don't have nothing. Like that, there's nothing to show for it. The only thing to really, the only thing to really, South Africa would never be a part of Africa. Well, sadly, well, not sadly, but unfortunately, they are. And it's like, it's the fact that, you know, they're not really realizing, like, we're Africans. You know, South Africans, like, have different skin colors or whatever, but we're all Africans. We're in one continent. Every single west, north, south, east, we're all Africans. That's what they have to realize. And they have to realize that if you're an African, your fellow African is your brother. So treat them right. You're the ones, if they're in your country, you're the ones who's supposed to, you know, take care of them, give them that hospitality. Instead of just like trying to kick them out violently. Like a bunch of people. I see people renovating their stores, putting metal doors just so the commoners don't enter in. And they have all this news agents getting cameras and recording the whole stuff, putting it live. Like that's the media is everything now. When the Western world sees that, like what are they gonna say? What are they gonna think? That gives them more reason to really know that the country is divided and we can never come together. And that's why they always have power and influence over us. They can never come together. And that's the only reason. You can't look after your own brother. They said, oh, they're taking people's jobs. They're, you know, first off, in my opinion, most of the videos I've seen is businesses. And I think they opened that business. I think as a person, it all starts with an initiative. And you have to take that initiative. If you have an idea, okay, have connections. You're South African. You're born South African. You know, I knew you probably went to the school or whatever. Have connections and put that initiative in life. But just because another person comes into another country, build their business and makes it thrive, and you know, employ other people that are also immigrants in the country, doesn't mean that you don't have, just because you're born there don't mean you have the right to kick someone out that came there for a better living. That makes no sense, bro. South Africa was dominated by Europeans, and they left their descendants to reign over the part of the continent. The original Africans who were there won't be able to succeed. Yeah, bro. At this point, it's like, I don't know, bro. Way forward is, we're far away from that, bro. We're just far away from that. And the governments, and I also see what's happening with Nigeria as well, with all the terrorists, with all the bandits. And I don't know, bro. Stop lying about South Africa. There's no xenophobia here. Be careful of what you say. That will get you in trouble. Stop lying. Stop lying. This is a peaceful march. You gotta go and fight your own wars. Now, I love the fact that you said there's no xenophobia there. Be careful of what you get in trouble. You know, I feel like when you speak up for what is right, you have that due negligence that you've done something good. So I don't care if I get in trouble. I'm just going based off of what I've seen. Now, let me show you. We're going to go to YouTube and we're going to see some videos. You said there's no xenophobia in South Africa, right? Okay, let's go. Rising xenophobic attacks push Ghanaians out of South Africa. And you're telling me there's no xenophobia in South Africa. What's this?
With GoDaddy.
You're telling me there's no xenophobia and I should stop lying. You're acting like the media doesn't cover every single thing.
So
Hundreds of Ghanaian nationals have left South Africa in response to protests there against migrants. Now, the protests have been growing in recent weeks, and some of those now leaving say that they have been victims of constant harassment.
Ghanaians assemble at Ghana's diplomatic mission in Pretoria to leave their life in South Africa behind. It's the first...
Because the people are scared. How can you be in your own country where you have your fellow, you know, the same skin color of the same people in a country where you guys are in the same continent, and you're getting kicked out violently? Of course they'll be scared. That's where they're leaving. But what's his name? DJ Toots. I don't know how you pronounce your name. You saying there's no xenophobia is crazy, because I know you probably are in South Africa right now, and you're probably South African born, so you're trying to defend it. And there's nothing to hide, bro. It's literally right there.
Batch of around 300 people who want to leave because of the growing anti-immigrant protests.
They're scared.
Based on the current situation of constant xenophobic attack or harassment from the South African people, I felt there is a need for me to go home.
Buses stand ready to drive the migrants and all their belongings to the airport for repatriation flights organised by Ghanaian authorities.
See?
The Ghanaian High Commissioner says hundreds more want to leave and that the government plans to help them reintegrate into Ghanaian society.
They can't do it, bro. And this is crazy.
Proud citizens of Ghana, proud individuals who hold their heads high because they were here doing legitimate business. Some documented, others undocumented. And I believe that the discourse...
This is generally unfair, bro. Now, you know, we're gonna see, like, let's see, I want to see, like, the violent, see? Let's look at the violent ones.
Okay, guys.
Like, why? What's the reason? And they're recording this to show what?
Now, this video has completely broken my heart, honestly. There's no way out.
It's
you tell me that all those
heart, and everything is in the media. This is crazy, man. That's crazy. We no longer feel safe. Ghanaians leave South Africa. They have to leave, bro. They have to leave. That's just the whole point. They just have to leave, bro. When is this gonna stop? We'll never know. And this, and I also saw other stuff where Ghanaians are also kicking Nigerians out their country. So is this gonna spread from one country, move to the whole of Africa? Now we don't want anyone of the same color. We're in the same continent. We don't want other countries in our country no more. Other people in our countries no more. Like, what's happening, bro? We forget that we have to come together. Like, we're not up there yet to really start like doing that. Where we feel safe in our own continent is where we move around. Now, if no country wants to accept other countries, where are we supposed to go? The United States don't want to accept us. Or you think they want to? Or you think you just like fly out from Africa and come here? It doesn't happen, bro. And that actually just like, that saddens me. That saddens me, to be fair. That actually just saddens me. But, you know, we're actually pushing ourselves back. If we don't change our mentality, focus on the continent, the growth of the continent itself, and come together, nothing is gonna be done, bro. Nothing will be done. We'll still remain where we are, and God knows what the Western world is gonna do to us. God knows what's gonna happen. I don't even know. So all I would say is love your brother as you love yourself. Make sure when your brother goes to visit, you know, give them a good hospitality. Let them feel at home. We're in the same place, of the same skin color. Let's appreciate one another. That's all I gotta say.